10 do's and don'ts when using the Dermaroller for hair loss. Using the Dermaroller incorrectly can cause major damage to your scalp and even cause more hair loss. This is a must watch if you want to avoid these very common mistakes and get the most out of microneedling so that you can beat hair loss and get thicker, healthier, more beautiful hair. If you are suffering from hair loss, I know exactly how you feel. It sucks. But you're not alone. The good news is that microneedling has been really effective at helping me beat my hair loss, and I've made some mistakes on the way. I've read every scientific study and research paper I can find so that you don't have to. So let's just get into it. Number 1, do use a 1.5 Dermaroller. Studies used 1.5 to 2mm Dermarollers. Anything less than that just increases absorption of anything you're using on top of your scalp. That's because what you want is the needle to reach beyond the epidermis into the dermis in order to trigger the body's healing response, which equals more collagen production and IGF-1, a growth factor. All this means is more hair growth. And remember, you can control the depth by how much pressure you use if you are concerned. Any bigger than 2.5 is at risk for hitting the nerves, so please don't do that. Number 2, don't buy a cheap Dermaroller and skimp out. These are less effective and can cause damage. They are made from discs and have a triangular shape which slices the scalp. They are also made from titanium, which is one of the strongest metals, meaning it's really difficult to get them to be sharp. Number 3, do use a Dermaroller with individual stainless steel needles, like the Beer Dermaroller. These go in one point and don't create scarring like the disc Dermarollers. Don't roll in just one direction. You want to roll in all directions, vertically, horizontally, and diagonally in both directions. This is so you are covering the whole scalp. For example, you roll vertically in the same direction and lift the Dermaroller after each pass. This helps to avoid tram track scarring. 5, do disinfect the Dermaroller before and after use so that you don't introduce any bacteria onto your scalp. I really recommend using a soft bristled toothbrush. Obviously not the one you use to wash your teeth with, but the Dermaroller is really hard to clean because of the needles, but by using the brush you can get rid of any skin cells, any bacteria in the nooks and crannies. Don't roll on a dirty scalp. As we are creating micro injuries in the scalp, we don't want to introduce product buildup, sebum, or dandruff into the epidermis. This is a big no-no. It's really important that a day or two before you start dermarolling to use a clarifying shampoo or a scalp scrub so that your scalp is nice and clean. Scalp care is the key to hair growth, and you want to create the optimum environment for your hair to grow. Number 7, do roll until you achieve pinpoint bleeding. This is an indication you have past the epidermis to the dermis where collagen is produced. When researching the studies on microneedling, I found that the benchmark for a successful session was based on the area going red or pinpoint bleeding. I normally press, not roll, at the end of each session in my parting just to make sure that I have achieved the pinpoint bleeding. Number 8, don't use if the needles have become blunt. You should be replacing your Dermaroller every 3 to 4 months or until the needles become blunt. Number 9, do wait for your scalp to heal before microneedling again. It can take up to 4 weeks for collagen to regenerate. It's a very slow process, and never roll on your scalp when it hasn't healed yet. I use the Dermaroller every 7 to 10 days. Number 10, don't do it once and expect results. Patience and consistency is absolutely key, and you will see results after 4 months, but significant changes after 12 to 18 months as the cycle of the hair is extremely long. Drop a comment with your questions and I'll be answering them ASAP.